Good morning! So, in the morning I usually watch news, right? And this is C-SPAN, which is probably the only channel in America, which is a mainstream channel, that you can get both sides of what might be going on, right, in the world. They just had a story before about, they got people ringing in with their opinions on both sides, because there's going to only be two sides, of course, there can't be more than two. There's independents as well, which basically means the other fucking 20 odd parties, who knows how many there are. And then you have oh shit, let me think where it would be. Unfortunately, it's not the usual shows, it's the weekend adverts. Fuck it. So obviously this is Fox News. This is going to be pro-Trump. You'll hear Trump. Two Trump stories, right? This is nothing compared to MSNBC. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Right, so you get the gist. I turned it on randomly. Trump. Oh, look at that. An olive branch. They're telling you about some good stuff that he's actually doing, which is being a fucking diplomat, which he's supposed to be, right? Of course, Fox News, usually the lying news in the last 8 years, because it was anti-democratic, it will all be good stuff about Trump. And actually, probably a lot of it will be true as well, you know? You don't know for sure, because it's fucking mainstream media. They all lie like motherfuckers. Damn it. Anyway. Trump. I can only imagine what this will be like. Oh, Fareed. It's not as usual. Trump.
However, meandering the road, the administration is on the right path.
Oh, fuck's sakes! I can't believe this. This is the first time I've ever seen any positive news about Trump from CNN.
The longest military operation in American history. Both the Bush and Obama administrations sought a way out of Afghanistan, but they found it difficult to just leave and declare.
I almost have a newfound respect for CNN. Oh god, I can't believe I said that. But anyway, this is amazing. This is unprecedented.
In the story that's in the Washington Post.
So what do we have here? This is the worst channel.
This only makes sense,
especially when Rachel Maddow's on.
That the President of the United States, that Donald Trump,
here we go. It's a Trump story. Ta-da!
Primarily in the court of public opinion. These tweets.
So this channel, you will never ever find any. I mean, what CNN just did there, as I say, that's fucking rare, right? But this here. This channel here, all they're about there for is to get rid of him. We want rid of him, we want our queen in. And we're pissed off our queen lost. Even if they get rid of him, they won't get their queen, right? All they'll get is some asshole from the GOP. But that's what they want, because these two parties are the same party. They don't differ, they're the same people. I can only guess that CNN has got that spin because they look so ridiculous. Like, you know, they started paying attention to Bitcoin last year, for example. That was because they were being made to look like fucking retards, right? You're not real media. You're just reporting, you know, negative news. You're helping the Koch brothers or whoever else it might be. I can only imagine that's the reason why. I mean, collusion.
Give us a little bit more about what's reported in the Washington Post, just about his mood and rage.
Trump, Russia, collusion, collaboration.
About what's happening. He's particularly upset about the news coverage, about why isn't he getting more credit for what he views as the good work.
How about balanced news? Maybe he needs that.
Unfortunately, as
anyway, this channel is a joke.
Friday, on the front page, on Thursday, on the front.
So that's all I wanted to show, was the fact that what we really have in America is complete propaganda 24/7. I think most. Let me just check RT, right? RT's quite. It's the best channel, but it's the worst news. Not the worst news. It's not as bad as MSNBC. Let me just show you.
Detonated his explosive leaden vest, killing at
least
3 NATO service members.
Now, when I say, okay, these guys, what you'll notice the difference is there's actual news on here. Unlike CNN, there'll be 2 stories on per hour, and they'll be repeated all day, every hour, right? this you'll probably find about maybe up to 10 stories. Some of them, you can't say anything bad about Putin on this channel, right? But besides that, you can get truthful stuff. Some of it seems a bit childish sometimes, like, oh look, America's doing this to us, let's just fight back and say this. And so they tell news from a kind of snidey angle, but you still get a lot of news on there. The most important thing is that RT doesn't just have news. When you want to get information out of there, unfortunately Ed Schultz died, he had his own show, but Max Kaiser, best financial news in the world, used to work for BBC, France 24, until him and his missus got fired from both those channels and Al Jazeera for telling the truth, because you can't tell the truth because the mainstream corporate media won't let you. So they can only work for RT now, as long as they don't say anything bad about Putin, I presume. They can tell all the truth they want, and they do. And that's the guy who got me really into Bitcoin. I first saw it in 2009, but I didn't get into it. But I got into it in about 2011, I think it was, 2010, when I was watching their show. He spoke about it since it's been like $1.
A lot of people argue that, okay, if there's a space deal with the Taliban, so violence will completely come to an end. I think it's
one single drawn-out Taliban story. At least it's not fucking Trump. You know, it's just every story on the American media is Trump, Trump, Trump.
Even if Taliban stop.
The only thing I wanted to point out there this morning was how we're pretty much lied to about everything all the time by mainstream media, right? And that can be anywhere in the world, especially countries like Great Britain, the fascist little island in the North Atlantic. Thanks, Mongo. Rumble. And the fact that propaganda is where you take not just news that's not true, news that fits a narrative, you get buzzwords and then repeat. And there's no more fine example of this than, I would say, MSNBC, followed by BBC in the UK, followed by probably CNN out here, and when they haven't got their own Republican in, I'd say Fox News as well. When they've got their own guy in, they're definitely a lot more credible than what they usually are. And this is what, when people talk about, oh, Trump is driving people apart. No, he's not. The mainstream media is driving people apart. And that includes Facebook. That includes, because they are the modern mainstream media. So, you know, they're killing other narratives that go against what they want to program the people to think. And it's really sad that so many people cannot see it, you know, whether it's the oldies who watch the old mainstream media programming, you know, human programming, whether it's I don't know, parents watching their kids going to government indoctrination camps known as schools, or whether it's because it's, you know, it's put throughout syllabus in different countries. You have there's a narrative there as well. Like, I grew up in New Zealand. It's a very misandrist, you know, they had misogyny for a long while. Instead of fixing that, the pendulum swung the other way. Many countries the same thing happened, and it's starting to, you're getting men's rights now, so that you're getting to the stage where there is gonna be equality at some stage with the sexes, that is. As far as the glass ceiling is concerned, it doesn't exist. It's a load of shit. It's just something. I mean, I've had so many female bosses. I've probably had more female bosses in my career than I've had male. But then I've had some of the best ones have been female, and some of the worst have also been female. But they're women who were given the job who didn't deserve the job. They were given the job because they're a woman, and that's the danger about affirmative action that you need to steer clear of. This is why the whole pendulum swing thing doesn't really work, especially when it's exaggerated in the case of New Zealand. And it basically sticks from misogyny side to the misandry side. Doesn't work. It's not how you create equality. You don't create equality by saying, right, let's first of all burn down all these white houses because years ago some other people who lived in another age who aren't even alive now, burnt down black houses. I mean, it's not how you fix things, right? This is why the world is getting so fucked nowadays. The false narratives, people allowing themselves to be programmed, watching things repeatedly on whether it be YouTube, Facebook, any other corrupt corporate media, which they are, or your programming channels. I know I've repeated myself, but I kind of did that on purpose. All right, thanks.